How AI will revolutionize the music industry. First of all, I would like to invite Dr. G.R. Raghavendra, Senior Consultant IPR, DPIIT, former Joint Secretary, Government of India, to on the stage. Let's see you again, please. The second is just elected as the Vice Chair of APMA. Congratulations. Lyricist, Screenwriter Board Member of IPRS, Mayur Puri. Our third distinguished guest is Chairman of the Board of Directors of the MACA Association, João Kruss Gomes. Please, stage. Come on the stage. And founder Silk Road Communications and Music Industry veteran, Achille Forler.
Mr. Benjamin, before we proceed with the panel, I just wanted to add a line to the introduction, to the wonderful introduction. Dr. G.R. Raghavendra, for all of your information, played a very important role along with Javed sir to drive the Copyright 2012 amendment in India. Thank you, sir, for the great work.
Okay. I'm sure we have a lot of distinguished guests today, that they have a lot of things you would like to express. But before that, I want to set the scene about what we're talking about and what CISAC's positions, and then we can go on with the elaboration. So CISAC is actually representing, I just give the introduction, we are actually representing 225 societies in 116 countries and territories, representing 5 million creators. Right now, we are the biggest not-for-profit organization representing the interests of creators. And we don't only represent music interests, but we also represent the interests of audiovisual creators, namely directors and screenwriters, and also visual artists. Right now, our president is Bjorn Uvelis, ABBA, very important member. And then we have 4 vice presidents. And then also, Javed is a former vice president as well. And our current 4 vice presidents is Yvonne Chaka Chaka. She is one of the very famous South African singer-songwriter. Mr. Fukuoji, the Japanese artist, very famous Japanese artist. And also Angelique Rake, the Spanish film director. And also Arturo Maquis, a Mexican composers. So we are in we have 4 regional offices. I am from Hong Kong. My office is in Beijing, and there's the other office in Latin America, in Europe, and in also Africa. And our headquarters in France. In 2026, CISAC will celebrate 100th anniversary. So it will be very big year in 2026. So we have been coming in the forefront of the discussions. AI is not new. AI has been existing for a long time. I'm sure many of you have used AI tools, basically, to help you to compose music, to help you to assist to mix music. In the music industry, AI is not something new. But what we're talking about right now is, probably everybody knows ChatGPT, and then probably you thought, and some company is telling you that they want to replace you with someone that your music you don't need to do, and put your name is okay, because under the current law, only human can protect copyright. So you probably heard something like this. More horrible about AI, although it's not directly relevant to the music industry as such, is you probably heard about deep fake. Now, people's face can be changed and then easily replaced, very real. But more horrible is, you heard Michael Jackson singing K-pop recently in YouTube, and then basically why we're having these things is because AI is able to imitate. I don't like the word machine learning. I really hate this word because they don't learn. They actually imitate. But they are trying to use existing copyright work and keep using them and then train them to be able to imitate Michael Jackson's voice and then singing K-pop. So this is something we know in the short term is not perfect, but this is something is very horrible. And even people using it for probably for trying to trick people, record your voice and then sending your voice to your family. So it's becoming something we need to control. But that something is about crimes and moral. But more important thing about what we talk about music is, what do we distinguish with AI-generated work and AI-assisted work? So that's a very important question that how the regulators should be addressed. But more important is CISAC have been working together with a lot of international organizations. We issued an open letter in July this year to lay down a few principles that we have to be very importantly remember. First is consent. We need to get the consent from the creators that their works needs to be used, needs to be authorized in order to use them to train the AI tools. Otherwise, without your permissions, it is something is not possible. I remember 20 years ago when we talked about UGC site with YouTube, they said, oh, we cannot really pay. It's UGC, we cannot control. It's something that's impossible. But now, after 20 years of fight, we actually proved they are liable. They need to be, they have the technology, they can identify who actually upload and then what music are being used. So we don't want another 20 years fight with AI to prove that our works are being used, and then we need to be respected. So the second principle is the remuneration is the key word. We need to be remunerated. The creators need to have the rights to be paid if your works are being used. The third word that in this open letter that we want to make sure is transparency. As I said, the earlier example about YouTube, they said, no, we cannot track the data. So many video. But now, do we see this is possible for YouTube to identify billions of transactions? That's a very important signal and analogies that we want to see is, we don't want this technology company just because they want to take advantage of your works and then without a proper remunerations. So this open letter that we, CISAC, led in July, and then hopefully you will get a copy yourself when you talk to other people, talk to your government. This three principle you have to remember and try to defend your interests. So having set the very, very brief scene and what CISAC have been doing, so I would like to first turn to Dr. Raghavendra about your view. What do you see as a government official? I talk about what we think we need to earlier about the AI demonstration that we don't want to be left out in the discussions. How do we see creators would be important part of the discussions of the AI policy? Please.
Vande Mataram, and I would like to thank IPRS for giving me this opportunity, and good afternoon to all the legendary lyricists and music composers and creators who have come from all over the world here, and also congratulations to CISAC, APMA, and IPRS as led by Javed ji and Rakesh, giving this platform to express various issues and the solutions to it. As a policy maker, I always think that whenever technology came with my experience, copyright law can adjust. Morning when I was waiting for the flight to Mumbai, I saw a statement issued by Elon Musk. He said, I shared it and also criticized it on Twitter. You can go to my account and see. Elon Musk says, digital God, the artificial general intelligence, it is going to be 10 times more dangerous than dangerous. It's not dangerous for me. Than artificial intelligence going to end the copyright law. I said, no, Mr. Elon. Policymakers and the stakeholders always found a way to protect their rights, to protect copyright of the authors, 1710 against the printing technology threat. Copyright law birth took place in 1710, the Statute of Anne. And technology came. And then new treaties, new convention came. The Berne Convention harmonized the two different systems. And Rome Convention came to address the sound recording rights and broadcasting rights and performing rights. When piracy came, Geneva Convention came, and satellite convention came to address the satellite signal piracy, and then came World Internet Treaties when entire digital marketplace were threatening despite technological protection measures there. AI is only general purpose assisting tool. Javed has rightly said that it helps to improve our drafting, reduce the time so that we can come out with the product. But always I try to understand how a technology works, then what solution to be given. Because AI is a machine. It can't replace the human, whether the author, music composer, or singer. ChatGPT, one of the large language models based on the natural language processing algorithm, it collects the data, extract the data based on your voice prompt or text prompt, and it does a tokenization, classification, category, various steps are there, and it learns and language patterns it creates, finally comes out with a model, learning model, and that is the final product it is given to you. Doing so, it must be reading various, you ask a question, I want a song on monsoon. Javedji must have written, Guljarji must have written, many others. So it starts collecting entire data and produces. So it is not working, it is not original, but it is doing a kind of aggregation and analytical thing and then finally producing it to you. How can you give a copyright to that when there is it lacks originality? That's what, when Dabus painted various classics, and the US Copyright Office rejected. Similarly, similar application filed in the Indian Copyright Office is called, created by Raghav AI, Ankit Saini Young Advocate filed. By mistake, Copyright Office gave joint authorship. When US Copyright Office rejected authorship for the AI, the Indian Copyright Office by mistake recognized the AI as an author. That is incorrect, but later they withdrew. And last week, Chinese Internet Court, they recognized that the creativity of the AI as a copyright, and it says the stable diffusion created photo, art piece, should be charged 500 yuans. So if you look at the Indian copyright law, how it addresses, the person, the author is the person, not the machine. Person can be we are all natural persons or legal person or a juristic person like IPRS. So either person or a juristic person own the copyright, not the machine. And who will get the copyright? Author is the person who is behind the computer generated works. That is very, very important. Now, copyright cannot be extended to that. Now, another step is there. US Copyright Office is asking comments from everyone. The Google, the big tech giants, Google, OpenAI, Microsoft. What is the common thing they have said? We all have mobile phones, photocopy machines, cameras. So our AI should be treated like that. If some infringement happening, because everyone is saying, my friend has said, there should be consent and compensation when you access any work. So consent and compensation, the person using the AI should take, not we, neither OpenAI or Microsoft or Google. So copyright infringement should happen person behind this and creating it, giving a prompt and making the machine to work and doing this text mining and data mining and coming out with the end product. Another important thing is fair use question coming. Many tech giants are saying, because there is a Google book case is there, Supreme Court, if there is a fair use and 4-factor test can be applied here, as per that, no infringement of copyright. But very question is, if you look at the Berne Convention provision, and which was clearly written again and again in every provision of the Marquess Treaty for access to published works, that any access should be done through a legally acquired copy. When you go to a bookshop, buy a book, or buy a song, subscribe to a OTT platform, you make the money. Then after using it, either for the education, research, or any list of fair dealing given in copyright law, so you get exception only after accessing it. For accessing it, you have to make the payment first and get a copy. And without doing that, the learning model, creation of learning model can be treated as infringement because the exception given in, again, section 52, subsection 1b, that transient and incidental copying is not infringement of copyright. That comes when you are using a legal copy, because the very learning, very scrapping, very accessing the humongous data, maybe it is the documents, literary works, musical works, sound recordings, photographs, various database, infringement of copyright, obviously. Without having a legal copy, legal database, okay, you are scrapping from a library when you are a member of a library for educational purpose, okay. But you are commercializing it. So that's what Chinese internet code said, 500 yuan for a artwork, they imposed last week because you are commercializing it. That is the big problem there. But how musicians going to benefit that? So the laws are clearly need to be amended considering that. I am a big advocate of introduction of text data mining exceptions in the copyright law, because EU has done, Australia has done, Japan has done, UK has done. Some extent, AI issues they have covered because of these exceptions have been introduced. That has not been done. We missed the bus in 2012. We need to do that. Then, how you can monetize? Now, the next big thing is coming, Web 3.0. Web 3.0 will be working with the help of AI, machine learning. Unlike the 2.0, which is a centralized internet, where YouTube entire data it collects, Facebook collects, all social media platforms are king of the data. Now, user becomes the data. As a music composer, as a lyricist, you need not be depending on the middleman. So you yourself can create and monetize, because Web 3.0 will be using all disruptive technology, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain, and 5G edge computing. And also the metaverse, the best example of 3.0 as outcome. Last year, if I'm correct, Taylor Swift, the famous performer, at one place. She did not go to any stadium or a place where normally performances happen. Sitting at one place, she gave a performance that the viewed by 67,000 people around the world. Later, she extended that. Finally, more than 3 million people watched her. Imagine the kind of money she collected. So any musician doing a solo performance, Lalitji must be giving solo performance, or any musician must be giving that solo performance, or Sonu Nigam must be singing solo. So all this can happen on the metaverse because this is going to change entirely. And I just stop here and I'll wait for more questions and more replies. 3 big CISAC members performing right. ASCAP, America, SACEM, France, and the third one, I just tell you I'm not remembering it. All 3 have given a giant blockchain platform where the people, the users can go, take a consent, and pay compensation online. So this facility has been given by 3 big SACEM and ASCAP and PRS London. All 3 have given this facility. The suggestion comes from Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Sri Piyush Goyal, to the stakeholders, come out with a single window licensing system. Can be possible using this kind of joint blockchain platform where at least for the music rights, performing rights, performer rights, and sound recording rights, at one single license can happen, provided you stakeholders come together and understanding what should be the sharing of royalties. So I'll just give a rest to my voice and then come back again when other issues are cropped.
So we heard about Dr. Raghavendra talk about some of the issues is growing when technology is moving along and how we should think AI will be also something we can treat similarly. So this is more on the policy makers thinking about this. We now move to a creator's point of view. What would you encounter any experience about AI that make you think what we should do about AI in the perspective of a creator?
Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, Dr. Saab. I'm not a policy guy like, or I'm not a tech person. So I will go back to the basics of what I understand about AI. Firstly, the first question that comes to my mind when I hear this term AI and when I hear, oh, this is happening, that is happening, somebody's face is replaced, somebody's voice is replaced, and machines are doing it on their own. And anybody can do it. Anybody can just type a prompt and they can get the result that they want. They don't need to go to a recording studio. They can just create new music by existing music, and machine will learn it and do it for you. And when I hear this, and when I hear that there is AI behind this, the first question that comes to my mind is, do we need AI? Do we really need AI? But now, that is not a question that we can ask, because technology will always evolve. Technology will always keep on moving ahead. Innovation precedes application in every sphere of life. It's always like that. There is always an innovation. We don't know what to do with it, but then later on we figure out ways to use it. At this juncture, when AI has entered creative domain, or so to speak, people are thinking that it has entered the creative domain, we need to understand what are we going to do with this? Because we did not need planes, we did not need electricity, but it happened and we are using it and it's good for the betterment of society. Can AI also be like that? It is like an atomic energy calculations. What do we use it for? Do we use it to fuel rocket ships and go to space and do exploration? Or do we create bombs and drop it on cities? What do we do with this technology? That is the number one question that comes to my mind. The second thing is, if suppose we are saying that, okay, let's use it for good purposes. Let's use AI for creative purposes. Then my question is, does AI really help creativity? Can AI actually create something? Now, there are two, I've spoken to so many creators, and I've spoken to too many tech people also, because I'm an idiot and I keep asking questions. So there are 2 points of views that and both point of views are very strong. The tech point of view about that is that, yes, AI is very nascent right now, but it is growing exponentially. The learning is exponential. Yes, within a few years, within a few months, it will be able to create stuff that you will not be able to distinguish it from human beings. Whether it is human created or it is AI created, nobody will be able to ever figure it out, because it's growing and it's learning so fast. The other point of view, which creators like me feel, is that it can never happen. Machine learning can never replace, AI can never replace human creativity, because AI does not have childhood trauma like we have. What we have gone through, what our experiences are, what we are as creators. And the second thing, when I talk to tech people, then I talk to them in tech, in a language that they will understand. And I always say that there is a signal to noise ratio. Tech people will understand that, right? There's always, the more you try to increase the signal, that much of noise also increases. Now, what happens in AI is, because it is learning from shitty sources, because it is learning from all kind of garbage, there is more garbage churned out than good stuff. So it outweighs, whether we really need AI or not. So only time will tell whether this it will really create or not. I am very skeptical about it. I don't think it will happen. But Javed Saab is sitting here, so I will like to tell you all remember Javed Saab. In his own words, he says that he has written a film which is moderately popular, and the film is called Sholay. And it's the biggest film ever made in India. And the opening of Sholay, there is this police officer, a retired police officer, who goes to another police officer and he says that I'm retired now, but I need these 2 criminals. These 2 criminals who are going to help me catch another dacoit. And he doesn't say why I need, but I need these 2 people. And the other officer says that I know that these people are useless. They are of no use to anybody. And he says that no, you might feel that they are useless, but even in some ways, people are always useful. So he says that Thakur Sahab, khota sikka to dono taraf se khota hi hota hai. Means a bad coin is bad from both sides. It is unusable. And then Thakur Sahab says that insan aur sikke mein shayad yahi fark hai. That's the difference between a human being and a coin. A coin is a thing, but a human being can be used. Now, my problem with AI is this, that creativity is a human effort and it's a human endeavor, and a human right, copyright is a human right, it cannot be given to a non-human entity. That is what I feel about it. Another issue which I feel, which is a big problem, is that what about the quality of work that is going to come out of AI? We are talking about AI being creative. What about the quality of the work? Because creativity exists on a spectrum. On the lower end, it is very subjective. Any shitty, rubbish, creatively created thing will find some audience, because there's all kinds of audiences. But at the top, at the very creme, at the very top end of the spectrum, it is very elite and it is very important. And that is that spectrum we need to understand. Of course, AI will create a lot of this lower end of the spectrum products. It will keep on creating, it will keep on churning things. It will give you 10 poems which sound like Gulzar Saab's poems, but they are not. My whole thing is that the work that is created by AI, it can never replace what a human endeavor can. And what happens when historically, when we have seen these kind of things happening, then what happens? It happened with painting, right? When photography came, people said, oh, what's going to happen to paintings? And what happened is that painting became an elite art. It became an elite pursuit. It divided the society. Rich people can have paintings, and they can be painters, and they can pursue that art form, they can pursue the curation of that art form, they can buy paintings, they can deal in paintings, but poor people can have photographs. This is a big question. This is a big issue that we need to think about, because quality is a spectrum. As we go higher, it will happen. Now, I have a feeling that we need to understand, do we really want that kind of quality of work coming from, that kind of creativity coming from AI? But who am I to say anything about it? Every society, every community, every generation deserves the art it gets. It deserves the art that it gets. It's not in my hands. If people want that kind of shit, fine. They are more than welcome to pursue ChatGPT and stories written by it. But I'm not going to write it. But what is going to happen in future? Will there be more value to human-created work because there is so much generic shit happening all around us? So that's the problem. Now, another thing that I want to say is that there is no fight against AI. AI is here to stay. It is, I mean, we have to deal with it. It's there. The only point of contention is that do we use this tech to alienate people from the art form, or do we use it to integrate them? That's a big issue. And yes, it can be used to integrate. It can help creators in data management. It can help in reducing labor-intensive jobs. And AI can manage these things much faster and better than human beings. But there will always be the need for some kind of human supervision or human hand to look at it, to correct the mistakes of the AI. There is bad side of AI also. There's a lot of crime possibilities, like you said, deep fakes and, and crime against copyright is as serious a crime. Theft is a theft, robbery is a robbery, and intellectual property is being robbed because of AI. So yes, we need to figure out all these things. As a creator, I'm not threatened by AI. I think if nothing, then at least we will become good prompt generators. We will become good prompt engineers. At least that job nobody will take away from me. And I'm here to welcome AI if it is that AI that we saw, the second part of the AI with the flowers in its hand and helping us. Technology is created to help human beings and not to take away their rights. That's what I feel.
Thanks, Mayur. I think it's really great to hear that from the perspective of creators, that you don't think they can replace creators, which I agree, because we don't want in the future we go to a show and say, hey, I love AI 1, 2, 3, 4, and then next people, where is AI 3, 4, 6, 7? You don't want the fans to say, I love the word of the AI 1, 2, 3, 4 and 3, 4, 6, 5. It will be disastrous, the world. So I think that's right, that the perspective of the creators is really clear on that point. As a creator yourself and also a lawyer yourself, you are from originally from Europe, but you work in Asia for a long time. So what do you think about AI in the area that you're working in, and how it will be affecting the situation in the future, like in Macau?
Thank you, Ben. It's an honor to be here. What I think is the AI, it's here to stay. It's a technology, and that will make us in the future to listen music in a different way, compose in a different way, and I think it will be a fantastic tool if human creators use this only as a tool, not just push a button and the machine start to play a song. It's use it as a tool to compose better, to have other perspectives, other markets. And I can, looking back in history, we could mention in United States many years ago, in 1965, Bob Dylan is a folk singer that was just playing with his acoustic guitar. And in a folk concert, he's just plugged the guitar in the amplifier, that at the time was the new technology, and really changed the course of folk American music. From that day, new bands, electrifying music. So, and through this action, he could get a different audience, a different kind of music. So he have a range, a new horizon that he could fulfill. We could see this happening now. This is now is artificial intelligence. We have to use it on our best to give the best to the human creator and use it as a tool. And I think it would be beneficial. And he is here to stay. It's not going back. This is the future. We move forward. We don't move back. So when this is what is happening now, we can What I have to say is we have to embrace it. Embrace it in the best way. Now, after this technical part, I would like to mention the legal side. That's the more complicated. That's the issues involved. Now it's different from the issues that the law covers in the past until now. What happened is laws must be adapted, must be updated, must cover the problems that AI is causing, the potential problems that is causing and is already causing at the moment, and are not covered by the laws. And this can only be achieved by, I would say, a teamwork. Lawyers, creators, government, together. Creators need the lawyer to understand their issue. Because the lawyer, what the lawyer do? The lawyer is sitting in the desk with laws. He read laws, interpretation of the laws. That's what he do. He don't know many times what's behind and what's the real problem, actual problem of the industry. What are we facing? They don't know. They need to be advised by the creators. After, government also, it must be involved. Legislators working together with the government. This is kind of a teamwork that we all can help each other. Cannot be only one voice, and then laws can be changed, but then enters lawyers that don't understand the issue and have different interpretations, and this could lead to a big mess. And I can give an example, suppose. There's this artificial intelligence work in an environment with thousands of music uploaded. For they do the training. It's called training. So if I'm the lawyer on the creator's side, I would, in a case, suppose court case, I will defend by saying that songs were uploaded without permission from the authors. Songs are uploaded and not the authors, the creators were not compensated because they used their works. Okay, perfect. The law mentioned clear that the author, the creator of some music or whatever piece of art have the right to control how the use of his works and have the right to receive the royalties for the use of the works. And a part of that the other side, what the other lawyer defending the artificial intelligent company system, what they come up to say. A different thing, but they also stated in the law. They will say, no, the songs were uploaded for research only for training of this machine. They were not sent to public, so does not involve copyrights. So both sides at this moment are right. Everybody's right. One side need compensation, need to give authorization for these uploads. Other side also right, because stated in the law, says, no, this is nothing to do, this is just for research. And the law very clear states that when any art, any creation that is used for, I'll mention books, music, books in the school for teaching, this doesn't involve copyrights. So we have a problem. So other issue, very practical. I try to mention practical things, otherwise talking about the law is very boring. And musicians definitely don't want to listen much about law. But anyway, another practical issue, it's the output of the machine, a song. This song is created through pickup from thousands of songs. So definitely will sound similar to something else, to the songs definitely there. It will be similar. So let's pick up the case in the court when lawyers say this output, it's infringe copyrights because it's very similar to the song A. What the other lawyers say defending those artificial intelligence system companies? They say, no, this is not taken by any specific song. So we are really at this moment in a mess. So we need to get organized. We need to rewrite some laws. And this, for that my final conclusion and approach is, it's a teamwork that societies that represent creators need to make force on the governments to make them look at these issues and update the legislations. Lawyers need to understand clear what's going on, and this is not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. And here are we discussing, and let's find out a way, definitely, in the future, what's the best come out for this issue. Thanks.
Thanks, João, for your insight about, as a person with both background of creations and legal background, to look at this issue. Last but not least, Achille, with your experience in India and also you're from Europe or also regionally, what do you think about this issue in Asia and Europe? What are the different perspectives you see about AI that's influenced this market?
Yes, thank you, Ben. I'll speak as a music publisher, which means that I am not a creator. I am in the service of creators. And I'm here also because I built a music licensing platform, which is called SyncMama, which has today over 500,000 tracks available, plus another 500,000 at the back end that are not available, but that can be searched by advertising agencies and others. And we are using artificial intelligence. So before speaking about how we use it, I want to, from all that I have heard and also what I am reading, I think we are vastly underestimating artificial intelligence. It's a mistake. You will see the covers of the report that ENY has done. The cover has been done by artificial intelligence, the painting, using Midjourney, a very early version of Midjourney. And you can see the result. It is not a copy. It's a creation. You have never seen, it doesn't resemble any other picture that you have seen. And this is what is the potential and at the same time the danger of artificial intelligence. It is called intelligence because it creates, it assembles in a vast mass of data, and that is why we are using it, in a huge amount of data that the human mind cannot comprehend. It will find out links, correspondences that it would take us maybe centuries to find. But it will do so in a matter of a few seconds, and we are starting to discover new medicines using artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is really a threat, definitely a threat to the creative community. Because we are today just at the beginning. It's as if you remember in the late 80s, Apple used to talk about multimedia. The fact which was incredible in those times that you can mix text, image, and sound, and video. It was all new, and everybody was talking about multimedia. Today, nobody talks about multimedia because it's part of our lives. So I have no opinion, on that aspect, but I want to tell you how we are using it on the platform. First of all, we are using it for music search. When you search music and you have 500,000 or you have 100 million, like on Spotify, tracks, how do you find? You cannot, no human being can know 100 million songs. It is impossible. You need help. And artificial intelligence is there to help you to find in these 100 million songs, those it will show you, it will suggest the 10, 20, 30 songs. All of them will not be relevant, but in these 10, 20, or 30 songs, you are sure to find the relevant track that you are looking for. Imagine how much time you save. When you are an editor in a broadcast channel, you have to make a promo. It's always in the last minute. And you get the video and you have to find quickly an audio. Before you had to search through a database or many of those promo producers, they would keep about 300 or 400 or 500 tracks at hand, which are like their Swiss knife, that when I don't know what music to put, I'll have something at hand and I'll put it and nobody will notice the difference. But today, in audio search, we have tools that are becoming more and more powerful. You can either say you hear a song on YouTube, you copy the link, paste it on our platform, say I want something like this, and it searches, and within seconds it submits a list of tracks to you. Or you can upload an audio track and it finds similar tracks. But this technology, it's still evolving, but it's already getting old. I mean, I saw this 4 years ago. And today we have new versions which are better. But today we are working on something that we are going to release probably in February or March. You have a video. You upload the video on our platform, and you select a few tracks that you think match the video. Once you select the track to match to the video, the AI will analyze the video. It will analyze the audio. Artificial intelligence starts to understand visuals, to understand stories of the visuals told only by image. And it matches your track and gives you 3 edit options, because if your video is, say, 45 seconds and your track is 3 minutes, it gives you 3 options. And if that part of the audio, say your video is 30 seconds, but the audio is 32 seconds or 28 seconds, it will automatically time stretch the audio to match exactly with the video, to cut and to make a cut like an editor, not like this, but quick fade out. And if you're an ad agency, you will have a tool where before it would take you 1 day to make 2 or 3 videos, search music, get the CD, or earlier it was the LPs. Now, in a few minutes, you can do the job. So AI is a fantastic tool to improve productivity in our industries. And I'm sure creators too will find, just like you have artists today who are starting to create art using AI. Because it's not anybody who can use AI. You have to know how to do the prompts. So you have people who start using AI to create either pictures, paintings, or create audio. So AI has that, it's going to improve the productivity. It's going to destroy a lot of jobs because even at this stage, we are only at the beginning. You will see in the next 3 years the new chips that are announced who will be 8, 10 times more powerful than the chips that exist today. In 2, 3 years' time, I would say that an ordinary person can create as good a piece of music as an average musician. Just like today on Instagram or Splash, Unsplash, you have photograph. The job of photographer is almost disappearing because you have so many good photographs that are made by individuals, which help because all of us, we are creative. And suddenly, things we couldn't do before, suddenly we have the tools to help us express ourselves. And if you go on, TikTok is not available here, but if you go on Instagram, you see some fantastic things done by ordinary people who simply use the new tools to express themselves. So I think AI is taking us another level to help express our ideas. And it will also, it starts to help to improve also the productivity.
We certainly agree with Achille that AI is very useful tools in helping us. But the key I would like to want to say is we need to make sure the right law is there to ensure that how we can also the works of the creators are being used, and then they should be fairly remunerated. I think that's the key. That's why we are seeing a lot of legislation is being, Rav just mentioned in the US Copyright Office is consulting, EU is consulting, Canada is also consulting about AI, and then I know Hong Kong is also having a consultation next year. So there are a lot of countries starting to look into how legislation, yeah. So there's a draft code is really coming. So what we hope to see is, although it's the beginning, but it's very important that we cannot be delayed in these discussions. So we need to work very hard. I think we don't have a lot of time for questions. Very, very short questions, comment, maybe 2. Anyone from the stage, from the floor? Govt?
I want to say something, but I'm afraid that it is not a question, it's a statement. If you permit me, I'll say that.
Please.
I was listening to Achille Sahab, who is a dear friend and a very experienced person in the field, that he started that we are underestimating artificial intelligence, and it is very dangerous. The word dangerous has used. Am I right or wrong, sir?
It is dangerous to underestimate.
It is dangerous to underestimate. So let's not be frightened and let's not think it's dangerous, because as I said in the beginning, that it can be of great help as long as there is a logic, as long it is dealing with facts, as long it is dealing with realities. Now when it comes to creativity, they will always go for the data, and they'll take out, artificial intelligence will take out whatever so-called creative thing is from already given data. And as he said, Mayur Sahab very rightly said that most of the data is of, I mean the word he used was not very parliamentary, I'll say below average or substandard. So it will take out from substandard work. You see, creativity is another process. Can one artificial intelligence fall in love with somebody? Can it be very upset unnecessarily? Can it be depressed for a while? Can it be excited for no reason at all? Can this artificial intelligence dislike somebody because of the shape of the jaw of this person? And so on. You have to be equally unreasonable also. all creativity is a combination of reason and unreason. All creativity is a combination of conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Is it possible and will it be possible in near future for an artificial computer or machine, whatever you call it, that while you were looking for something, for a key, which you have lost, you didn't find, and then you change the topic, and now you want to know what is the future of space traveling, and suddenly this machine will tell you your key is in the drawer. It's not possible. But human mind does it. See, this is how creativity takes leaps. I don't think a time will come when a competent painting, maybe. But a Mona Lisa, no. A Pieta, no. A Beethoven Sixth, no. So that is the thing, ultimate. Can Macbeth can be written by an artificial intelligence? Not possible. It can imitate Shakespeare to some extent. But when Shakespeare describes sleep, either you steal those words or you compete. How will you compete with that? That's not possible. So the fact is that I agree with him that real art, real creativity, what happens, anything which is in rhyme, anything which is in tune, in certain musical notes is called creativity. Most of the art, so-called art, is emulative, copied, and unoriginal. That is what artificial intelligence can do, because it is depending on a data. But real art doesn't depend on the data. It depends on life. It depends on a very personal experience.
That is true.
It will take time.
That is true because there's a database of Javed Akhtar's works. So I give a prompt that please write a poem just like a Javed Akhtar on monsoon. It starts learning out of your works and generates a work. But there are bundle of poems lying in a cupboard. It can't enter your home and open the cupboard and read and learn and start giving to me. Similarly, because they have not been published as per the definition of Section 3, that has to be circulated to the public. Circulation can be uploading also legally for the sale. Similarly, Lalitji composes new music which has not been published, means either performed or released, copies released either physically or digitally. So it can't read. That data is not available to that. But there are, I give you another example. Recently, Amit Datta, IPRS lawyer, on Twitter shared a song video, original picturized and Dilip Kumar, same song, artificial intelligence, stable diffusion created video with a Shah Rukh Khan. So here, same song is coming, actor is different, same attire. It is not the face is covered on the cheap defects are made. It's not like that. It looks like 100% original that Shah Rukh was acting in the Devdas. Now question comes, how copyright acts? Simple synchronization. Song is used here, synchronization, right? Next, now the other AIs are there, they do the mimicking of voice of Sonu Nigam, or Shreya Ghoshal, or Sunidhi Chauhan. So this song has been created, so it can be used to sing a new song with their voice, or in a different thing. This, I say, small tweaking to the version recordings, because these are not sung by the original singer. These are similar to version recordings. So this can be addressed. Now, ideas will come to address these things. As everyone is agreeing, consent, compensation is the must, and the copyright originated because of giving incentive to the labor and creativity of the authors. Machine doesn't require any incentives, and that laws are coming already. US come with the AI Act, and US Copyright Office already taking the public opinion. I just read that UK code is coming out. And similarly, we should also work, at least come out with the guidelines to clear doubts or fears till its shapes takes a shape into legal provisions in the copyright law. That's what I want to